everyone. I'm Medhaswi and I'm based in Hyderabad, but my entire life revolves on the internet, just like many of us today. I mean, if you ever looked at 13-year-olds today and thought, wow, I used to look like a potato sack, but how do these kids look like French fries? Well, I bet you're lying if you said you weren't, but hey, welcome to the club. We're seeing a generation growing up on the internet, and their role models are celebrities or influencers, which is very different compared to our way of living back then. And I talk about back then like it was 30 years ago, but to be honest, this entire phenomenon has taken place over the last 7 to 8 years. What has what has changed so much? Why is everything a trend? Well, I'd say the biggest influencer of our time is media. For decades now, mass media has generally pushed narratives that are best suited for their profits. And with everyone having a smartphone, the rise of social media has led to a growing emphasis on the social image that we need to maintain. And it has become quite easy to build up these false narratives that look pretty to the eye, but they are very difficult to maintain. It doesn't help that movies of this generation also push the same idea that make it acceptable to live like this. Shows targeted toward kids and teens back then were things like Karishma Ka Karishma, Son Pari, Best of Luck Nikki. But kids these days have shows like Riverdale and Euphoria, which portray high school lives as those that have incredible standards to maintain. The pretty faces played by adults try to tell us that this is how a teenager is supposed to look like, completely erasing the picture of the teenagers with the voice cracks, the pimples, the ill fitting clothes, and the awkwardly growing bodies. And no matter how much we try, we end up being influenced by these descriptions. I have personally spent hours trying to take the perfect picture, and then even more time went into editing it. And it's honestly the reason why I quit social media. But this trap has engulfed so many. And if you're relating to the things I've been saying, it might be time for a digital detox. This lie we try to live is just another show of social status that we try to achieve while rotting on the inside. Log kya kahenge only gives you stress, anxiety, and self-esteem issues, while fueling jealousy, ruined friendships, and loneliness. And none of those are really good things. According to researchers, plastic surgery for cosmetic reasons has been directly related to spending more hours on social media. To thrive on social media, you try to spend regularly, not repeat outfits, constantly change your accessories, and try to look your best at all times, pulling us into this constant cycle of consumerism. And the more time you spend on these sites, the more these companies gain. I mean, a few weeks ago, a whistleblower from Facebook presented documents that stated that they are aware of the damage they do. They just choose to profit over it. Young girls and their insecurities, hate speech, and algorithms that decide what you see, just to give you dopamine hits and push more advertisements your way. To make things worse, they were planning on rolling out an Instagram for kids. And I wonder what would have happened if that went along. In the end, our lives that we put up treating the world as our stage just end up harming our mental health. And our suffering, it just turns into money banks for many. Is it worth it? No, it isn't. But you can step out of that equation by trying, just trying to opt out of this illusion being sold to us. Because I honestly believe if the product is free, you are the product. Thank you.